Hey, welcome. Susan Graham here, Manifest Now TV. My interview guest today is Lisa Taylor, and she'll be on in a moment, and I will introduce her and give you a bio. Okay, let's breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Let's do rapid, quick, energetic breaths. Don't do these before bed. It goes in, and then out. In through the nose, out through the mouth. So sharp, three sharp, and then out. In, out. In, out. In, out. In, out. Good one. Do one full in and out breath. Very good. Let's find out a little bit more about our guest, Lisa Taylor. Lisa is a first-generation Canadian born to British parents who moved in the 1960s to Canada on their wedding day. With very little family here, her family unit was all she had growing up. She was a good girl, the first in the family to obtain a university education and pursue a corporate sales career, moving away from the blue-collar ideology she grew up with. As she approached her 40s, looking at her marriage, her mortgaged home, her life as she had built as per the social norms in the Canadian middle class, one question popped up from an unknown source in her consciousness. What is your purpose, and have you fulfilled it? This question nagged her and grew in decibels until she could no longer ignore it. As she considered her accomplishments in life and business, she recognized there was something missing, and a feeling of emptiness she could no longer live in mediocrity with. So she tore it all down, stripped her life to the bare bones, left her marriage, sold the house in the burbs, left her corporate career to pursue the answer to the question that she could only explain God had presented to her. The pursuit of self, purpose, and healing generational trauma for the next decade has taken Lisa on a journey of a pilgrimage of sorts to discovering happiness, peace, and joy. Her ultimate goal is to discover joy in every day while navigating life and all the learning lessons that come with it. Her purpose is to share this journey and inspire others who have been presented with the same questions regarding their own purpose here on Earth at this time. Awesome. So I look forward to sharing this interview with you, and I hope you get some tricks, tips, and tools out of it, which I'm sure you will. And again, Lisa Taylor.
Do what I do on social media for money. I mean, obviously Modere, if anybody wants to order anything, but it's only just one of the things that I do. So I do it more for sharing, helping people to relate, like that kind of thing.
Inspiration, which I love.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. So you guys, everyone, welcome. This is Susan Graham here with Lisa Taylor, my guest today. And exactly that, we're going to talk about Lisa's journey and her very inspiring story, which I've followed for quite some time, actually, Lisa. And then it took me like, I think a few years I've been watching. And then I reached out to you in the fall because I just wanted to join you and your buddy, you and your friend Lynn
Yeah.
baby with with the fires and again like I've just been super inspired. So let's actually start with that if you wouldn't mind. So tell us just a bit about yourself, a little bit about your background, what your journey, like what led you to this journey and personal transformation that you've been through, and yeah, anything if there's like some type of pivotal moment that you know came
Yeah.
or not, like just let us
There
want to hear about it.
There really was actually. And as I alluded to in my bio, it's like there was this voice that entered into my consciousness and it kept saying, is this it? Like, is this your purpose? Are you living the way, that you're supposed to be living? Is this it? 100%. Like, is this all there is?
Hmm.
We grow up and we go to school and we strive. And I mean, I'm a very driven, hardworking person. My parents were both very hardworking, and I achieved what I wanted to achieve. So the bar, I guess, was set here versus up here, which I think a lot of us do, right? Especially as women,
True.
lack of self-worth, not wanting to stand out, be too much. I think that's more of a male mentality. And I
Yes.
just was
Or ask for
recognizing
more.
or ask for more. But I had achieved everything, like I had the husband, I had the house, I had the kid, I had the job, I had the friends, we had a good life. We weren't really in debt at the time. Um, Things were okay. They were, and it was just so blah. It was so boring. It was so predictable. And then this voice just kept coming like, is this it? Is this your purpose? And then I started asking my husband, so is this it? Like, is this our purpose? And he didn't really have an answer to it. And I just started seeing that I wasn't where I was supposed to be. And I tore that house down. I like
Right.
puffed and puffed and blew it all down and tore it all apart and left my husband and um you know created divorce and separation for the kid and ended up leaving my corporate job eventually. And after a little while, I had changed companies and changed jobs, and this whole mantra of is this serving me started to develop in my language on a regular basis, and recognizing this job isn't serving me, my boss isn't serving me, these people that are working for me aren't serving me, like none of it was serving me. And really just tearing the whole thing down to nothing. And I had never in my, what's the word, entitled life ever had nothing. I'd never been in a position of having to, like, having nothing and really just needing to learn how to surrender and how to receive and how to build it back up in a healing way, in a beautiful way, and um, having gratitude for all of the blessings that I actually had. That's sort of it in a nutshell, I think. It's like this circle.
Yeah, that's interesting. It's fascinating how your soul essentially wasn't going to let you settle
Yeah,
because
mediocrity.
it was kind of like, nudging you every time. You're like, what is it? This is it? Like, what? Like, that's this can't be it. This can't be it.
Recognize it as it wasn't my dream. It was society's dream.
Right. Of
I,
course.
I was born in the late 60s, like 69, went to school in the 80s, attended university in the early 90s, was in corporate, in the early 2000s when technology started coming. And I mean, essentially, what is it that a woman needs to do? She needs to get married, have a kid, have a career, win, 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 win all over the place. And self was never a conversation, never part of the conversation, other than how your body looked.
Oh, right. Of course.
Right. So it
Of
was
course.
just,
We
it
have to
was
be,
this,
we have to look perfect and really good. Otherwise, get,
yeah, you're
yeah,
failing.
that's right.
I was failing because I was like 226 pounds. Like I was failing. So, um yeah, just that self journey, that, and like I love how you say like my soul. So yeah, that's what it was. It was this voice. Like I now think of it as God
Right.
um telling me,
Yeah.
okay, Lisa, like this, that's great that you achieved all these things, but whose achievements really are they? They're not yours. It's
Right.
not your plan. This is what you plan to do. So let's get going. Time's of the essence here. Yeah.
And we're not old yet. Meaning our
Okay.
age. Come on.
Okay.
I'm just
Well, at the time I was 39 when it started.
okay,
So
fine.
I
But I
would
mean
say
now,
yes,
like
I was not old.
no, right.
I It took me 3 years to leave my husband and a lot of therapy.
Oh.
Yeah. So it wasn't like wasn't this whole story wasn't instantaneous. It was little step by step by step.
And then you obviously at some point stepped on a weight loss journey of some kind.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is
I
this low life? Like you've figured that out? Do you think you figured that out?
Weight loss?
Tough
I have
question, but
definitely gotten to a place where uh I am happy with my body. I love my body. I am very, very super healthy. I'm not at what you would call the proper BMI according to statistics, whomever creates these rules and regulations, but uh, the healing that continues to occur within always affects the weight loss journey for me.
right. Isn't that fascinating?
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
think I'm just getting that. I mean,
Hmm.
grasping that concept.
Yeah.
That because I've had that happen recently. Yeah, without meaning to.
Yeah.
I
It's
didn't
so
mean
funny. I
to.
created this business, this whole ideology called the clear body system, and I never really took it. I did when I took it to fruition, what happened was things crumbled. So it's just sort of like this little project that sits in the back.
Right.
But it incorporated um, health and nutrition, supplements, and coaching
Yeah.
all in one. Because I felt all of those things really are needed in order to I mean, you can go to the gym, you can have calorie deficit, you can do all that, but if you people are always like, well, why does weight come back on? And they see it as a weakness or a failure. And it's really just you haven't met that next level of healing,
Right.
to not have those blocks within, I
And
think.
to feel the need to protect yourself again. For me, food is always like protecting myself. I think there's a
Yeah.
level of like filling myself up, I guess, with love or whatever, and it's food. So there's that substitute, right?
There is all there, it's so complex.
Right? And
So complex.
everyone has their
Everybody's
own
is unique and different.
issue.
And I really do feel that it needs to be uncovered and dealt with um, in whatever healing modality you are using at the time. But
Yeah,
stuff
and
needs to be
trying.
uncovered.
How about this too? Like the idea of like, um, not one healing modality is there's not just one way. There's so many avenues of healing too. Like which one works? Maybe it's a combination of a few things, which is most likely the case. Sometimes you'll be lucky and hit the nail on the head with one healing, you
Do you
know,
know a person who's done that?
no, definitely not me.
I don't.
I wish. But yeah,
I don't
that's
really
not how
know.
it happens.
No, no.
And it's a lifelong process because we're never fully healed. Do you feel that way as well? Like we're healed. You
Yeah.
reach a max, but then guess what? Life kicks you in the ass again. Something happens. Life
What
is
what
life.
what I can say is that kick can become lighter and lighter and lighter.
Right.
That is what happens. So you can't get knocked down as far down as you continue to grow and evolve and heal. That's what I've noticed. Like,
Okay.
I really,
You
I
were
mean, I guess to be tested and proven, but for me, I've been knocked down so much and elevated to a point where there's no way I'll ever be at that level again. And I can say that with a lot of
think so
belief.
too.
Yeah.
It takes a long time.
Yes, it does. Yeah. And I mean, anybody watching this or listening, they're probably thinking, well, what, well, like, why would I even bother? Like,
Oh,
you're not really making me feel
like it's
like
a
this is much
miraculous
fun or
feeling.
anything like that. But
No,
I
this is
mean, you got to
reality.
start. I think everybody needs to start. And I think everybody can go at all different speeds.
That's right. And we all do. And it's like figuring out all the different ways, what kind of doctors you use, a blend of doctors, what kind of food you eat, a blend of food, maybe not, maybe you're a vegan, maybe you're a meat eater. We all and then it's being accepting, we all have to figure out our own way. Because
Yeah, and it's like a total personal journey within too. Like you're mentioning outside
right.
sources. Like
In
I'm thinking more of like the inside
Absolutely.
sources.
Well, I think it's more like what you said just a few sentences back, which is it's both. It's all of it. It's a combination. It can't just be one or the other. Then you're not healed. You're not.
Yeah.
You're on the way, but you have to get deep inside and get
Yeah.
straight too.
I think it's ultimately like what's your goal? Like what's your daily goal? For me, my daily goal is I just look for some joy.
I love
And
that.
and I share that a lot. It's like today's joy is just that the sun is shining, or
Right.
that I got to see my kid, or that I went to the beach, or that I had a great encounter with a friend, or that I had a personal um great thing happen at work or whatever, but just some little bit of joy. So I guess it depends on where you set the pendulum, right? Like,
But this
is it
is
always
getting
have to be up here, or can it
no.
just be little teeny thing?
That's right. That's it. You see, but that's just it. There we go, right to this concept of manifesting. Well, what are you manifesting? How about manifesting joy on purpose daily?
Yeah, that's mine.
Then, then that's called feeling good and setting your vibration high. And then guess what? You're going to attract more. You'll be like, oh my God, this happened, this happened. Good things are happening.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Blessings happen daily, especially if you're paying attention,
right?
right?
And it's
Yeah.
not always like it's not the big, it's just there's little life is like little steps along the journey, along the path, along the road.
I
And
know.
I think a lot of us think that, the end, like we're trying to get to that, whatever that is. Well, guess what? You're going to do it and be miserable because you won't ever get there. And if you do, you still won't be happy.
Potentially. Potentially. I don't know. There's all different levels of consciousness.
True.
So, I mean, if you're awake, um, I think what you're trying to achieve is more internal.
Which I want to talk to you about that because you've very recently, over the last year, have you got baptized, and I
Uh-huh.
love that. And I want you to well maybe talk a bit about that and why that path maybe and what's led you
Okay.
there and how does that help? Like how is God? How is that?
The reason I decided to get baptized was because I did want what they promised, and that was the gift of the Holy Ghost. And I thought it was going to be some epic, um, all of a sudden, like, whoa, like thing happening,
Mhm.
and I was going to be lifted even more spiritually, and it didn't turn out to be the case. So maybe I already had the Holy Ghost with me
Of course, yes.
because I was baptized when I was a baby
Mhm.
in a different denomination. But what I loved about this particular thing was that it was a restart, a refresh, a cleansing,
Like a rebirth.
a rebirth. Literally put into the water, submerged fully, and then brought out new and fresh. Like John the Baptist, like pure cleansing,
Starting over.
starting over, be able to be redeemed of all my sins. And I just, that takes this burden, this load off of your heart. I mean,
Hmm.
I'm not saying I'm a terrible person, but have I sinned? Absolutely. Have I done things that I wish I hadn't done?
Of course.
Absolutely. Um,
Well, being human.
Human, right? And then so that whole concept of, I mean, at 50, when did I do it? I was 55 at the time. I'm 56 now. But to be able to be cleansed and start fresh and start new, that there was something around that. I really liked it. I'm still pursuing this religion, and I find one of the fears around religion for people is it's so dogmatic, right?
Yes.
It's this or and that's it. That's not the way I'm approaching it. I'm approaching it as I already had a relationship with God. I did not have a relationship with Jesus Christ.
Um,
I didn't know really anything about it.
okay. Okay.
And so I'm going in and I'm learning the doctrine, and
Hmm.
I'm listening to the lessons, and I'm learning the religion, and how it works. And but I'm doing it on my terms, and with God as a partnership. Like he, at the end of the day, and I think of him as a he. I don't know, maybe he's a she, whatever it is, whatever he is, she is. It it's my relationship. It's our agreement. It's us having this conversation together. It's us working towards the purpose, the goal, the journey
The
together.
manifestation, whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah, and not worrying so much about, oh yeah, but Lisa, you're not supposed to drink coffee.
Right. All the rules, all these weird rules.
Rules, the rules, the rules. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I
So I,
wanted to ask you about that because I think what was it?
yeah,
Was that part of the being baptized in that denomination that they had,
yeah.
what was it?
It's
No
the
coffee and no
no
alcohol?
coffee, no alcohol, no drugs, obviously. So I did quit drugs over a year ago,
Yes.
but I would still partake with alcohol. And so I have quit drinking alcohol since November. And I got to tell you, I love it. I love it.
Good.
Um, I mean, I had this conversation with a friend recently. It's like, think of like this amount of my life. I started drinking around 18 years old
Yep.
and having alcohol compared to this teeny little bit of my life not having it. So I have to wait for that to grow
Right.
to feel a little bit more balanced around the decision. But I love the clarity. I love how I feel physically. My skin is better. My body feels like it's functioning normally, especially my gut. I don't have pressures in and around um, social settings. Like it's like I'm just not drinking. Just
Yeah.
whatever,
Yeah.
whatevs, like just go have a good time.
That's great.
And really truly having a good time without any influences at all, it took a little while to adjust to. Um, and there was sort of like a ho hum period. But now it's starting to just feel normal and good, you know?
You're doing so good. Okay, so then how about what about the coffee?
I failed on the coffee part. Made
What?
a conscious decision. I did 3 months, and then I had a discussion with my daughter because she also got baptized. She got baptized quite a few months before I did.
Right, right,
And
right.
we
Yeah.
and we were having a conversation about it, and I was like, and I also didn't get it. And also it was established in like 1830. So I
Right.
don't know. Like
You're like, do we have to follow that rule?
it never made sense to me, and they weren't able to explain it to me in a way that it made sense,
Right.
other than this is just what it is. And I'm like, because you could have caffeine,
Oh,
can't have coffee.
what? How?
Yeah.
Okay, that's weird. If it was caffeine, I get it.
Yeah.
Because then
So
they're
I mean,
thinking clarity and clear your system. I kind of get that, but
yeah. So I don't know. I just felt like it was too much too soon. So it's like, let's just deal with the never drinking alcohol again. And I reintroduced the coffee. Um, and I'm not going crazy with it. But and I've also I don't want a mold coffee. I'm not drinking Tim Hortons or anything like
right,
that. Like
right.
I'm buying a really high
Good one.
end expensive organic, and doing the French press and having a lovely cream with it, like an organic cream, and just enjoying that.
Yes.
And am I still being blessed? Yes, I am.
Yes.
So, you
Mhm.
know,
Isn't that interesting how you may be, and I think a lot of us do this, attach your worthiness to certain, let's say,
behavior.
behaviors or ways you're supposed to be. Oh, if I do this, then I'm worthy. And that's not it, because guess what? God says we're worthy no matter what.
Yes. Yeah. And religion there's a lot of feeling of, am I worthy for like whatever it is they're promising at the end? I've noticed this.
Right.
And so where I went in sort of already thinking, okay, I'm totally worthy. Um, this for me is about educating myself and growing and getting building a relationship with Jesus Christ and determining what does my future look like in this religion. I don't know,
Mhm.
but I have to tell you, the people, they're amazing. I love the community. I love the people. They're hardworking. They're kind. Um,
Lovely. That's so nice. It's just
yeah,
that, just that. Just
yeah,
that alone is a reason to make you want to go connect or, be in the community type of thing.
yeah. Like I love my Sundays and I love the learnings. I love that I get to go with my daughter. We take the sacrament every Sunday, so that's sort of almost like a little mini baptism
Mhm.
renewal every Sunday. And you know what? If I go away with my girlfriends, I miss it. That's okay. Like I'm going on vacation soon. I'm gonna miss it.
Right,
That's
right.
okay.
Okay, that's good. See, you're being light with yourself.
Mm.
Not, oh, I can't miss and not, if I
Not
miss,
judging and shaming.
right. Yes,
Yes, that thing we do.
that thing we do. Okay, so that leads me to I have a few other questions, and I'm just trying to
Yeah,
watch the
yeah.
time here too. Um, okay, so I do want to talk about your trip that you have booked. Is this something that you have been wanting to, like you've manifested, and it's how long? Like
My
when
vision board over there has Bali all over it. I wanted to do it. I started looking at it seriously in 2019. At the time, I was not in the financial position that I'm in at the moment, but I was still figuring it was also pre-COVID, so it wasn't as expensive as it is now. But I started looking at it and seriously and talking about it. And then obviously pandemic happened and then like craziness in life. And so now I've been back in corporate for just over a year on my terms. And like financially, I can do it. I've got this vacation time. I've got travel insurance. I've got all the things and all the pieces. And the only thing that was holding me back was fear. And there is a little bit of fear there. So I'm going on a solo trip to Bali for over 2 weeks. And I have a friend who just landed there 2 days ago. Her and her mother moved there. So I'm going to visit her.
cool, that
Um,
helps. I feel like I don't know, I could feel that. Like I feel nervous for that, for going by yourself.
yeah. Yeah, who knows? Like, I don't
No,
know.
it's fine. I just don't know. I guess I must have that fear too. Like I feel afraid for myself if I were to, to go
That
by
is the
myself.
number one thing that the most people, when I was talking about it on social media, reached out to me. I've been doing these solo things. Like last summer, I went to a concert by myself. I just recently went to a talk at the Scotiabank
Right,
Arena, saw Jordan
right.
P. Peterson speak. I've booked more concerts going by myself this summer and doing this trip by myself. And the majority of the women reaching out to me were like, how do you do that? And I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I had women asking me to meet up and have coffee with me. Like, I want to talk to you. I want to do that too. And the
See?
only thing I
You're
can
so
really,
inspiring.
yeah, the only thing I can really say is that, if I were to wait until I had my partner or until, my friends were in the same economic situation as me, same timing, everything, how long would I wait to do these things? And why are we waiting to live?
That's right. Yeah.
And I don't want to wait anymore. Because like you said we're not old, but I don't know, man.
Lisa. No, you're just saying live while we're still living.
Yeah.
And it was just also just the idea of you moving into the being grateful every day, grateful for just the small things every day. I think that's so important because it is the little things along the way, and you have to be grateful.
Yeah,
In
I wish every day were epic, but it just doesn't seem to be the way.
It's not how it works.
No.
We
We
have to
live it,
be happy in just the
yeah.
mundane and just
But I
the
am going to suss it out to determine what my future does look like because I am a Canadian who is not overly happy with the way that things have been handled over the past 10 years. And then if we're coming on an election, I don't mean to get political, but I mean, honestly, if the same parties voted in, people really think that there's going to be change. And I'm like, how can you think there's going to be change with the same players? So I
when
just
there never has been. Yeah,
like I really shake my head. I really shake my head. And so maybe I don't want to be in Canada anymore because we're if you look at us, a friend of mine a couple years ago said to me, she's like, you don't think globally. And I'm like, what do you mean? And she's like, you just think of your own little teeny little bubble that you live in. And I'm like, you're so right. Like I'm so entitled.
it's true.
And so I started thinking more globally and I started looking at global. I mean, my parents come from England. They're not even Canadian. And it's like we are the highest taxed. And then we pay income tax on the income that we make, and then we get pay tax on the things that we purchase after we've already been taxed. And then it's like there's these like other taxes that they've just implemented, and now we're going to tax those taxes. And it's just like tax, and it's like some of this has just got to stop.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean, we work hard for our money, and we accept things. And I'm just thinking to myself, what if you turn your whole life upside down and go live somewhere else and don't accept the things
that's
that what
right.
I'm supposed to accept? And it's mind blowing to even me, but I am sussing it out and I'm starting out with Bali.
Cool. That's
Yeah.
awesome. And I'm with you on that as well. I have no problem, as much as, attachment to here, this place, family, blah, blah, blah. I also, it visually could see, well, I could go live in Costa Rica, I really could.
Yep. Yeah.
Um, so we're just starting to run out of time, but I do want to get to this question as well, because I think that this is the right question for you, because I'm really fascinated and inspired about this concept with you, which is how do you feel like if you make a promise to yourself, like you say, like what happens when you break it to yourself, like over and over, right? Do you
I
feel,
have to
what do you have?
I
I'm
have to
having a hard time with
consciously
it.
break it. If I were to break a promise to myself, it's I would consciously break it. I wouldn't do it in regards to like sabotage.
Okay, I get it.
What else do you want to
But
know?
what if, no, but what if you're trying to, like, okay, you say to yourself, oh, I'm going to do this. And
Like not drink coffee.
okay, say the coffee thing. And then you try and well, you did, but you did good. 3 months is, oh,
It's like it's the same question that I asked myself when I left my corporate job. Is this serving me?
okay.
Because we can have an idea of how we want things to look. And so yeah, try that out. Is this how you want it to look? Maybe. But if
Yeah.
you don't try and fail,
How do you know?
how do you know? And I guess it's having a relationship with failure that isn't negative, shaming, or blaming.
Right, that it's normal.
That it's normal. And I mean, I didn't grow up that way, like you fail, it's all that they talked about. So you never fail, right? You do well in school, you do this, you be a good girl. I was the best girl on the freaking planet, right? But where does not failing get you? Because all of a sudden one day you're going to be faced with a whole shit ton of failure, and what are you going to do with it? Well, I crumbled. So I think, and I've been teaching my daughter this for years. You got to try, man.
Yeah, and
And
it's
I used
okay
to
to
say to
fail.
her, there is no trying. And now I feel bad about that because there is trying. There is trying. It's recognizing it's not succumbing to sabotage.
Okay, so
That's the difference.
that's the question. The next question was, how do you forge through the mind's resistance to change? So it's
Yeah.
not succumbing to sabotage.
Well, one way you do that as well, I think, is only taking on a little piece.
Time,
Yeah, not, like
not
we're like, okay,
everything.
starting on Monday, this is happening. Boom, 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 boom. And I mean, I'm no different than anybody else. I've got the calendar over there with the X's on it. You know, this, yes, this day, didn't miss a day, good, but there's not 6 items on the list. There's one.
Yeah, well, at least you did it.
Yeah, but it's like taking it on realistically,
One step at a time. Okay, I
one
get
step
it.
at
I
a
get it.
time.
That helps. Again, that's me. Like that it's like this all, big encompassing, like have to do it all at once.
Yeah.
And then I get stressed and then I do nothing.
And that's human.
Yeah.
Right? That's how we create these blocks. We face these blocks. It's like
Little steps. Little
we
steps.
set ourselves up for failure so badly. Yeah. So
Right?
just
Little
I
steps.
have a coach. I don't so much work with him right now. Um, but in the past he's helped me immensely. And that's what it was. It's like, what's the one game-changing shift? And you just concentrate on that one thing. Like in
Okay.
2024, it was quitting smoking marijuana.
Right.
And I'm not even going to tell, like, I was not a person who would sit there and like huff on anything all day long. It was a very small little morning ritual when I
Mhm.
walked the dog. But was it benefiting me? No. And what was it holding me back from? It was holding me back from more than I actually realized. And then when I stopped, and well, first of all, it's numbing out, right? And numbing out is never going to benefit us as human beings in anything because we're avoiding things. And then, secondly, like the clarity that I gained brought on all this new opportunity and even like more consciousness. So
Ah, that's
that
all.
was my 2024 thing.
Okay, see that's a really good note. And we should leave it on that because we're just about to run out of time, but I think that's a really good message to leave that on is just, focusing on you make it one goal at a time, one little step at a time and focusing on the one thing. Okay, I really like that. I think that's going to help me.
Okay,
Hopefully
good.
it'll help you people out there too.
Since meeting you in the fall, I have seen a huge shift in your energy and how you are. So you must be doing something right.
Yeah, it's definitely taken a lot of that digging deep and dark night of the souling and all of it. God,
Yeah.
Jesusing, and
Jesus
you
sing.
know, yeah. All. But anyway, I want to just thank you so much for letting me interview you today and sharing your inspiring journey and some of the little tricks and tips and tools along the way. And
Thank you, Susan, for asking me.
yeah, thank
I'm
you.
really, really privileged. Thank you.
And I can't wait to do another fire soon.
Yeah. Okay. Well, spring, spring. We gotta have spring.
I know I'm rushing it, but we'll get there.
Okay.
Okay. Bye. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
Bye, Lisa.